The merch link is in the bio. The merch link is in the bio. The merch link is in the bio.
What's going on, everybody? We are on episode 39 of the Three Jews podcast.
Before we get into this week's topic, if you leave a comment on this episode, we are going to put you in the drawing for a piece of merch, a free piece of merch. This is also going to be at the end of the show, but we're going to throw it in the beginning of the show. All right, enjoy the rest of the show.
We are coming back this week with the Salem Witch Trials, suggested by our very own Broden Wunderlich, who is to my left, and Easton Bennett on my right.
And to the audience, on their right is Broden, and on their left is me.
In their middle is Liam.
Yeah.
Liam
and if you
Owens.
guys were wondering, the merch link is in the bio. We're going to keep saying that just in the beginning of the episode because we don't know how many people make it till the end.
Yeah.
So if we could just get that out there, that the merch link is in the bio.
Merch link is in the bio for anyone that didn't catch it.
I don't know if you guys have heard, but the word on the street is the merch link is in the bio.
Okay. I think, yeah. Merch link is in the bio.
Yeah.
You can go there and look at the merch.
And that's crucial that you do that because it finally happened.
Yes.
After talking about it for quite some time.
There's fun little Easter eggs on there. You can go read it, even if you don't buy anything. Yeah, it'd be good to get that finally live. I think the website looks pretty good. I showed Broden before the show.
Yeah.
I'll show you after the show, but I think it looks pretty good.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah. So the merch link's in the bio.
Yep.
Description, I guess, if you're on YouTube. But bio if you're on, description for everything. But you can find it.
It'll be there.
It'll be there.
You can't miss it.
Yes. It's in the bio.
So let me ask you guys, what do you think the Salem Witch Trials were about?
That's not what your notes say.
I had to scheme something up.
Yeah.
It was a long ride home from work.
I think they are about when there was just this crazy witch hunt. And then, I know what it is. But this crazy witch hunt. And then they thought everybody were witches.
Okay. I think
Pretty
where there's
accurate.
smoke, there's fire. They got them.
You think
they
so?
got them all.
One lady
they
Capped all the witches
They
just
got
like that.
Oh, they knew they were all witches. They
One
knew it.
lady just owned way too many cauldrons. It's like there's something going on in this
Just
town.
covered in warts head to toe. And they're like,
Covered in
wait a
warts.
minute.
Her nose was super long.
She's wearing a pointy hat.
Mm-hmm. Pretty accurate as far as the hunt goes. Because it wasn't.
I thought you were going to say as far as the warts and the pointy hats go.
Maybe, yeah. As far as everything else has been depicted up until now, there's no reason not to believe that.
Can you imagine you're just walking through Salem and you just had bad acne and all of a sudden you're lit on fire?
When I was putting these notes together and pretty much everything I read was, essentially that. Like anything. It was anything. And we'll cover that later on.
Perfect.
And that's,
My apologies
can't
for
believe
interrupting.
No, this is our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
It is. And the merch link's in the bio.
And in case you guys haven't heard. So the Salem Witch Trials were a series of investigations and persecutions that caused 19 convicted witches to be hanged and many other suspects to be imprisoned in Salem Village in the Massachusetts Bay Colony between June 1692.
I was going to say 1962. They were
Yeah.
just doing this like
Not
the other
long
day.
ago at all, yeah.
Yeah.
My grandma watched it happen.
She was a witch.
Well, thank God she didn't have any warts. And May 1693.
1600s were a wild time.
Yeah, I think we were just learning how to be humans around then.
Yeah.
We've been around for a while, but at this point, there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
There
We were
wasn't
just
anything going on, but
Figuring out.
I wonder how big Salem was.
It was 21 people. He killed all the other 20
everyone
people.
else. That's why they made the new Salem. He was the last one.
That's what,
I suppose that makes sense. There is a place, New Salem.
Yeah, I thought that was tied to this, but I didn't see anything about it.
It's like they're trying to get more witches there.
It's like the New York.
I would have
they're
a PR campaign if I was New Salem, like the owner of it, to have witches come.
or maybe in
Good for them.
across the pond from that idea, you would say witch free now. New Salem is witch free. No more
now
witches.
witch-free?
Yeah.
No more witches, only bitches.
So far more women than men were among the accused, convicted, and executed.
They're male witches?
Wizards.
Like two. Yeah.
Wizards?
They'd call them
Really?
wizards. Yeah. I think there's a story in here later on that says they call him a wizard.
They should call them Mitches.
Mitches.
Yeah.
Male witches. I
A big
like it.
conglomeration of guys named Mitch.
Male and women. Maybe that's where it comes from. Yeah, just a bunch of Mitches.
Yeah.
I know Mitch.
That sounds like a
He could be a witch too.
Really?
Now that we're onto something.
sounds like a deadly cult. Imagine you ran into just a bunch of Mitches. They're all named Mitch. Like they could. Well, first of all, I don't know any normal Mitches.
No. Well, I mean, like Mitchells. I don't know any like. So if you're using Mitch as like a abbreviation for
I
Mitchell,
think Mitchells are worse almost.
I know one Mitchell and freaks me out.
He's a wizard.
I don't. He might be, dude. I
Should
don't know
we test
what
him?
he's got.
How can we
going on.
test him?
He's missing.
He's watching this right now as we're doing it.
Really?
Yeah, he's pondering his orb right now, watching us record this. He goes, I wonder what these guys are up to. And
He's over an enchanting table.
guaranteed. He just rolled a 7. Just weird, man. I'm worried.
Mitches play with dice
Probably.
or die.
The events of 1692 in Salem Village resulted in 185 accused of witchcraft, 156 formally charged, 47 confessions, and 19 executed by hanging. The trials
19's all?
remain 19. Well,
That's how many were executed?
it says 20 people died. It says 20
Okay.
were executed and then 19 executed by hanging. So I think there was that one person that drowned.
Just tar and feather.
If
You
you
name
die
it,
from
dude, they
tar and
probably did
feathering,
it.
that's got to be the most ridiculous tar
Can
and
you-
feathering
But
anybody's
can
ever
you
done.
can you die from like too much tar?
Oh, yeah.
I would
If you
imagine.
were covered head to toe in tar,
Yeah, and they just
that'd be
like
it.
shoved it in your airways and let it harden.
and
Open up.
just encased you.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that Han Solo that happened to?
Han Solo.
Wasn't it? Or no?
No,
was
it's Austin Powers.
it him too.
Yeah, him too. They're in the same same
It's Ryan
capsule.
Reynolds.
Same guy.
Yeah, tar and feathering. I feel like that'd be a bad punishment.
Be
Not as
horrible.
bad as hanging. I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
But
Or being burned
Not
at the
as
stake.
bad.
yeah. I think
I'd
it
rather
goes.
get hanged.
I think like from 3, 2 to 1, it would be tar and feather, hanging, getting spit on.
No.
Most disrespectful things of all time.
Yeah, I'd say getting disrespected, but as far as like punishment, they used to back in
Burn
the
ya.
60s and shit. Oh, fuck, way worse than that. They used to mutilate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Or-
would hang you upside down by your feet and take a saw and saw you in half. They would put
Oof.
people in like brass bowls and then boil them alive.
Brass bowls
So
turn
like
you into
they'd,
a soup.
they'd put them into these bowl sculptures and then they would cook you. And then steam would blow out of the bull's nose.
They
And
make
that's
you.
when you were dead.
They just make you watch The Office.
I love The Office, man.
Are you not an office
No,
man?
I hate The Office.
I've never watched
How?
it, and because
I
I've
don't
never
hate it,
watched it,
but-
I just say that I don't like it.
I hate it because people love it so much. Like it's fine, just
I can
have it
get
as a
behind it.
show, but
Yeah.
like don't like put it on a shirt.
Oh, I got so
People
many
make it their
Office
whole,
shirts.
your entire personality.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I got
Come
3
on.
shirts, so that's my personality and my wardrobe.
And he's people I despise.
Yeah.
Like if I could accuse him as a witch right now, man,
We
would
could.
You can accuse me as a wizard,
a Mitch.
You're not cool enough to be a wizard.
but maybe that's because I'm really good with the dice on the craps table, and
Yeah.
you think I'm a wizard.
Now that we know that wizards use dice, apparently.
Yeah,
could
but
do
I
anything.
don't like rolling 7s, like you said earlier.
Yeah, we don't do that. Did you hear
Hey,
that?
man, take your time.
My
Did
fault.
we hear that?
Did you hear that?
There's a
Yeah.
I
microphone
apologize.
inches away from your breather.
I tried to keep it quiet. So in mid-January 1692, Elizabeth Betty Paris and Abigail Williams began having unexplainable fits. Tituba was the first to admit to witchcraft during the Salem Witch Trials.
Tituba is the
Tituba was, I think, one of the
is that
daughters.
a nickname?
No, I think it was one of the. I think it was a slave-like person or one of the daughters, something like
A
that.
slave-like person.
I think
Did
I
you-
cover it later on in here, but I didn't put it at the front of the notes.
Did you guys read The Crucible in high school
I remember it.
about the Salem Witch Trials?
Is that when they were talking about
Could you read them?
Goody Proctor in high school?
Yeah.
Depend what year.
Junior year.
I was just starting.
Just to read.
Just start.
I was
they
just
were
starting to
just-
read my junior year.
They
Yeah,
were just exposing me to words at that
because
time.
that's when I got into my form-fitted helmet, and they were like, "All right, now we're gonna put words in front of you,
It's
and
fine.
he's probably gonna freak out."
It was on back order.
Had to have water wings for you when you went to the water fountain.
Oh yeah,
But
the whole 9 yards.
yeah, I think you were cleaning windows, right? One of those
With my
people
tongue, yeah.
that
Yeah,
roamed,
licking 'em.
roamed the hallway.
yeah,
What flavor of crayon did you like the best?
bad ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Crucible, I remember reading that, and we were in a group chat at one point. Do you remember the group chat going on in high school? There was like 40, 50 people in it, and
You
no one
said-
had each other's numbers. And someone texted in, they said, "Okay, everybody say their number or say their name."
Yeah,
So you could say their numbers. And Markel Giovanni, is that his last name?
Yeah.
Something.
Giovanetti or
Markel,
something
yeah,
like that.
Giovanetti. He texted back in there and said Goody Proctor, who was a Crucible character. And I just thought it was
the husband.
yeah, I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. No, Goody Proctor, I think, was the female.
No.
She was one of
think it
the
was a girl,
characters.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I call my sister Goody Proctor all the time when she does her hair like that. And I
Is your
think of
sister
Markel
a
every
witch?
time.
Does she do her hair like that?
When she does her cosplays for the Crucible. They have like weekly meetings, I think.
Oh,
I was
Crucible
gonna ask you.
Cosplay Club,
LARPing.
the CCC.
So during the trial, what did you say?
Cousins with the CCP.
Yeah.
Tituba confessed to having seen the devil and also stated that there was a coven or group of witches in the Salem Village area. In 1711, colonial authorities pardoned some of the accused and compensated their families. So later on, after they murdered random people
Yeah.
for no reason.
How long I don't know if you have this in notes, but how long were they just like having fun capturing people and killing them? Because that's
20
kind
years,
of,
it looks like. I
That's
mean,
good.
1692 to 1711.
they had a hell of a run.
Yeah.
20 years of killing people.
It had to be like a
Well,
little bit fun.
There was before that. I think if you were a real messed up person, yeah, it was probably a blast.
It was probably such a blast. It's like, oh my God, they're just letting us accuse anyone.
I know. And it's like, it's guys like us. We just get back down into our basement. They're like, we can't keep getting away with this, dude.
Yeah.
How do we keep doing it?
Did you see Elizabeth today? She's looked witchy, didn't she?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I think
let's get her
so.
tomorrow.
And then they just go to everybody in town square.
Yeah.
It was Elizabeth.
We have to put her in that well.
Yeah. My water wouldn't boil. It was Elizabeth. Salem witch trials were caused by a number of factors, including church politics, family feuds, and hysterical children. The isolation of the town, the fear of the Native Americans, and the religious beliefs of the Puritans all contributed to the paranoia that led to the trials. Belief in the supernatural, and specifically in the devil's practice of giving certain humans, witches, the power to harm others in return for their loyalty had emerged in Europe as early as the 14th century and was widespread in colonial New England.
So what were the trials? They were like, that was just them putting everybody on trial like you're a witch?
They would,
Or was there like one trial? It's like, we got to stop killing these witches.
it was all the time.
Okay. So it's like Elizabeth witch trial day.
Yeah,
Okay.
essentially, all the time.
Gotcha.
And it was just a battle of pointing fingers.
Just a plethora of, what do they call it? Hearsay. Is that what it is in the court of law? It's just a hearsay.
It's just word of mouth.
Or what is it when it's like my word against yours? Is there a term for that? But then
I don't know.
the male always won
Argument.
because women, that was pre-women's suffrage.
I'm not sure exactly what hearsay is because that's what they.
Hearsay
lawyers-
means it's like, it's up in the air. It's like, did you? It's kind of like if you're at a barbershop and something you hear at a barbershop.
Just to talk down at the barbershop.
It's like a professional word for rumor.
Right. But I think the talk at the barbershop is normally true.
You know what else? I heard down at the barbershop. Merch is in the bio.
The merch,
I knew that was
it
coming.
is. Yeah, merch link is in the bio. That's what they're saying, anyways.
That's what I heard.
And there's
Where's
a
that to talk
smorgasbord,
at?
smorgasbord of products for you guys to get on there too.
And we can't wait until you do. And we hope you do.
Buy our stuff.
So the belief in the supernatural, and specifically in the devil's practice of giving certain humans, witches, the power to harm others in return for their loyalty, had emerged in Europe as the 14th century. So this has been going on a while. So here I have noted that there have been many witch hunts throughout history, some of which include Valais in France and Switzerland in 1428 through 1447.
Valet, what's that? That
It's
one
just
valet
the- just
driver
the
that
place.
He's just too
doing
good.
bad things.
Do you speak French? V-A-L-A, all the way at the bottom. Valet. I have no idea.
Oh yeah,
North Berwick, Scotland,
Valets.
1590. Fulda in Germany.
I feel like all
1603.
Scottish people are some sort of wizard witch, though. Have you seen them?
Just the way they act.
Yeah. This is just becoming us
Is
shitting
it
on
'cause-
other foreign countries. Mongolians. Now it's the Scottish.
What do you mean us?
I could get behind that though.
Yeah, I mean, Mongolians was you basically.
You ever
You
seen
have a problem with them.
Did
Did one of them take a bath now or what?
Yeah.
went to a Mongolian meeting. Just they like pitched me what they're good for, and
What'd you come up with?
not a whole lot.
Food?
Have you ever seen someone with bagpipes?
Not in person, I don't think.
I think I have.
I've never heard anybody play the bagpipes.
Really?
No, like not in person. Oh, I've heard recordings of it, but
You have though?
I think so. Because I go to the Hoostfest. I used to go to all the time with my mom. And I think they had someone playing the bagpipes there. It's pretty electric.
that'd be sweet.
I'm not going to lie. It was pretty cool.
I saw a dude play Thunderstruck on the bagpipes.
What an interesting instrument, honestly.
How does a bagpipe even work? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure there's just, so they have the tube that they blow air into the bag, and then they use their elbow to deflate the bag and then play at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's just a constant.
So they deflate it and it comes back up and they got like finger holes, I think, right? Or no?
Yeah. I think there's
That's got to
multiple.
be the most skilled instrument ever.
There's dudes in skirts playing them. So
Breathing and using your fingers. That's almost every
But-
single instrument.
Deflating it? You can tell me the trumpet with 3 buttons on it is harder to play than the bagpipes.
Probably.
it's harder
I
to
think-
confidently walk into a room and tell someone you're going to play it.
Yeah.
Is it like anyone
think
that's great at an
The
instrument.
trumpet, if you want to be a musician, the trumpet is the coward's way out. That's got, you know what I mean? That's
I
gonna
don't
be
think the trumpet's the easiest instrument to play.
What's easier?
Are you
Triangle.
going to outrank
The
the harmonica?
Oh, come on.
I don't
Okay,
know about
okay.
that.
Okay, I have heard at the barbershop that the harmonica is a little tougher to play.
But
the
could you
triangle-
imagine, like, you have to confidently walk into like any place and you have to be holding bagpipes and then tell
Yeah.
them you're going to play them.
It's
What are you going to walk
I would
in and
assume
just,
that
I'm not
if
going to
you walked
play
in
these.
with bagpipes, they'd go,
But tell me
I think
you're
he's gonna
not
play some
getting
bagpipes.
slandered, you know? Immediately they are thinking something.
of
Yeah,
course.
that you're going to play the bagpipes.
Yeah, but it's not like, I'm so excited to hear the bagpipes.
Who the fuck is this guy with the bagpipes?
Yeah. Can you tell me you'd be excited if some man with a red beard came down here and started? You'd be like, man, I can't wait to hear this.
If it was
What-
right here, right now, I'd be ecstatic.
yeah.
Well, that would be
think it'd be
super ironic.
hilarious.
Our next guest on the show.
I'd almost think it was set up.
I would hope if some guy just randomly chose your house.
Yeah.
How Irish is he?
None. He's
All of
Scottish.
He's super Irish?
I thought
Oh, yeah. I guess he's not
or
Irish.
Scottish?
Scotland.
Is he okay? How Scottish is he?
Like he has the accent and everything.
Oh, then
Then
yeah,
that's
I'm
huge.
super excited to hear him play.
He knows fat bastard.
He might
Like,
be
personally?
that bastard.
Yeah. It.
They must be cousins.
I don't know. Yeah.
If he's coming down the stairs, we know. Have you ever been on Scottish Twitter?
No.
Hilarious.
How do you get there?
So funny. I don't know how I ended up there, but it was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Those
Because
peop-
it's all people that you have like, because you like it's something that you don't really think about. Like social media is a giant platform.
Yeah, I
Every
never
place
think of-
has their own Twitter, and so people
Really?
in Scotland and they talk like they do in Scotland, obviously, and so it makes very little.
Like they never
sense,
learned.
Pretty much.
Their
Like they
vernacular
stopped
is hilarious.
around when I started learning.
They passed you the torch.
Yeah,
Take it from here,
Like
sir.
their slang words are funny.
so funny. I'll get on Scottish Twitter tonight and
Is
I'll
it
send you some
close?
stuff over.
Is it close to like England and Britain? I don't know where Scotland's at.
Scotland is the northern part of the UK, I want to say.
Okay, that helps. Doesn't help me at all.
Yeah, that
The UK
everything on
is
that
England.
side of the ocean is just
Yeah.
they're just balled up.
So I got to get in a boat to get to it, and I don't know where it's at.
It's the same landmass as England.
Okay, so the people that are talking in like Newcastle are probably
Right?
close to
'Cause
Scotland.
England, Great Britain,
Up
and
to
the
dude.
United Kingdom
Like that.
are 3 different actual areas.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I couldn't even list all 50 states.
no.
I could list them. I couldn't point them out on a map.
Yeah, if I got like randomly picked, like if there was a draft for people that had to fill out a European map, I would.
Oh, there's no way.
I
A
would-
European map?
Yeah, because
Oh.
I couldn't even get 25%. I don't think.
No.
I tried it a couple weeks ago, and
I
I
think
stopped after like guessing 4 countries because I was so embarrassed.
I think I could get Ireland and Iceland because they are their own separate area.
Could you get Greenland and Russia and China?
Greenland's
Maybe.
North America.
What?
Greenland is in North America.
Greenland, yeah, it's just up there.
Yeah.
It's
Here?
area.
Yeah, it's just to the east of Canada.
Really?
Yeah, northeast.
Yeah.
I'd like to think I could do better than 50%. 53, I'll give myself.
I would absolutely give you that because you're the brain guy.
Yeah. That's hard, though.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do the states, so I could
Like
do
us?
No, I could do the States.
I maybe go 48 for 50 on the States.
You'd get
With
Alaska
with
and
point
Hawaii
amount?
wrong.
Yeah. There's no way.
I'd mix a couple up for sure.
Oh,
No, you
guaranteed.
I don't think you guys give yourselves enough credit.
No, I'm giving myself more credit because I got less than that last time I did it.
I kind of want to do it now.
Okay.
We
After
should.
the pod,
Let's have a
I think
little
I'm gonna
competition.
find no, not against you. You
Okay, fine. I
fucking
won't be in
bookworm.
it.
Yeah,
Let's see who's the smartest, Broden's like.
sign me up.
Let's see who can get the most states out of us three.
Just so we can shit on us.
Winner
just
gets-
like every other
winner
layup
gets
we give this guy
$500
on an episode.
Yeah.
Winner gets $500.
Shut
the other
up.
two.
From who?
The other two.
Oh.
Absolutely not.
Winner gets tarred and feathered. By the other two.
I call Tarn
As
him.
long as you don't spit on me.
Okay. We'll hold off on that.
Oh my gosh. So there were many factors involved which led to the accusations of witchcraft in the Puritan society. Some of the biggest reasons for why accusations ravaged Salem included fear, the belief in both good and bad witchcraft, the willingness of physicians to utilize witchcraft as a form of medical diagnosis, politics, and potential ergot poisoning.
I wonder if you could use witchcraft as like a plea during a case. You know how you can use insanity now?
Mm-hmm.
We would like to plea witchcraft. Because back then, it's funny to think about times back then, like the 13 colonies. I love the 13 colonies for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's funny to think about a time back then when they didn't know what we know now, and they were just throwing shit at the wall like this.
That's why I said that they were like learning how to be people back then.
Yeah.
Because it was just nuts.
Like imagine seeing the first time, obviously this is an extreme example, but imagine seeing the first time someone started a fire. That's what I compare it to.
Yeah.
They automatically have to think they're a wizard.
Like,
Of
yeah,
course.
they're God.
Yeah, it's like, what did you just do with that rock?
I didn't put it in here, but that was talked about that after all of this Salem Witch Trials shit, that like courts and judges and people, like everything was changed around.
Yeah.
And they said, maybe we should stop doing that.
We should stop killing people at the sight of something new.
Yeah.
Well, because it used to be you were guilty until proven innocent. Back
Really?
when like the 13 colonies first started. Yeah. So you had to prove your innocence, which is nuts. But
And how do you prove you're not a witch? Didn't we talk about on a previous episode to see if they're not a
They're-
witch, they
yeah.
would lock them in water?
Oh yeah. There
if
ain't
they got out, yeah.
got-
We'll let you get to it.
Yeah.
it's coming up real quick.
That's on me. I didn't want to jump.
No. I mean, that was
Like
a
leapfrog.
we're playing baseball right now. You just gave me a little toss up right there.
Yeah.
And I'm about to hit it out of the park here on
Oh.
the next page.
A little soft toss.
Bonjour.
A little soft toss here. So some of the behaviors that caused people to be suspected of witchcraft during the Salem witch trials include
Too horny.
this one. This I'd be gone so fast. I would
Be the Grand Master.
I would
He was
be,
the
I would
first
be,
witch.
I would be the Grand Wizard of being
He was the
horny.
grandfather of all witches.
Yeah, I guess the Grand Master's been different. I think
No.
that's the leader
No.
of the KKK, isn't
Grand
No,
Wizard is.
Grand
is what I
Wizard.
said.
Okay.
Give me my pointy hat and it's not on my head. So the first bullet point here for behaviors that cause people to be suspected of witchcraft. Awesome. Being a woman. So funny. As the first bullet point it said was being a woman. And that's because,
They were.
yeah, which is true. Women are witches. But back then in the 1600s,
Out of context clip right there. I'm just going to cut that. Women are witches.
and
Post
that's what
that.
you're going to post? You dick.
I'm just kidding. I would never.
But women didn't have any authority, nothing. And so they were seen as like very lowly and powerless.
Yeah.
And they were just like probably a witch. Like,
So
No.
crazy to think.
so they're like, because obviously men like held higher power in the church and political and stuff like that. And so
Everywhere.
they wouldn't be, yeah. There's no way they'd be convicted of witchcraft because
Right.
how could they?
They'd be convicted of wizardcraft.
But they're holy men.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
politicians.
Clergy.
And that's all like, because all of this was stemmed off pointing fingers.
Clergy.
Clergymen.
Yeah.
Ah.
Bonjour.
So really it was just a big finger pointing match.
Oh, just disgusting.
Imagine you like steal someone's girl, you know, immediately. Well, I guess they didn't point a finger at another guy,
Right.
but if someone just wronged you, you immediately
Right.
call them a witch.
Like if
Yeah.
a chick didn't go out on a date with a dude and he's
Yeah.
just like, oh, that bitch.
That
Witch.
Yeah.
Yep. You better go on a date with me or I'm going to
Yeah.
tell everybody that you're a witch.
Yeah. I saw you stirring potions the other night.
Hey. It's the first form of flattery.
His imitation.
It's being called a witch.
Oh.
That's where it stemmed from.
There's being unmarried,
Okay.
being outspoken, having a bad reputation, having a physical deformity,
Oh man.
being poor, being old is the last one. Being old. So if you're anyone that is not inside the range of a 16 to 50-year-old man, you're fucked.
You're a witch.
Yeah.
Imagine, being old event. So they just thought everyone turns into a witch.
If you live long enough and you haven't died yet, it's because you were sorcering your way.
I suppose
to
that's
old
probably
age.
what they thought.
Yeah.
They probably just thought you should be dead.
He's 72.
Yeah.
Everybody dies at 40 over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably.
Yeah, trust me. I was gonna say your range, people are not living that long.
Yeah, you're
no
right.
way.
Not back then. That was a little.
They would have like tetanitis or something.
Tuberculosis.
Tetanus. That's what I was thinking.
I don't know.
something.
The swine
The
flu.
tab. Imagine getting the tab.
The tab.
Tuberculosis. I think that's what they called it. Maybe not. The turb.
Bird flu.
What is that from? Just like eating birds?
I don't know. That was crazy back in like I think it was like middle school or something like that.
The swine flu. Was
That
what-
is
that
pigs.
that ran rampant for a little bit.
I heard something about there was some hubbub about bird flu.
Hubbub.
There was something going on about the
No,
bird flu
yeah.
because there was a nest underneath my deck and
You got it?
one of my parents said, "Don't touch it. You're gonna get the bird
Yeah.
flu." And I said, "Well,
I think it was just like if you thought about a bird, you would almost catch a small case of it.
Just get feverish about birds.
yeah,
Yeah.
just can't stop."
Yeah.
Addicted
love
to the shindig.
pterodactyls.
Yeah. It's a Red Hot Chili Pepper song is in
Can't stop. Addicted to the shindig.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is in tribute to the Red Hot Chili Peppers concert tomorrow, which if you're listening to this was like 4 or 5 days ago in Fargo.
Are they really? They're gonna be there.
Should have went.
Wish I could have been there.
The RHCP.
I think this I have next is a story. of
Okay.
something that happened back.
We're
So
ready.
this was back in this was like who Tituba was
Oh, Tituba.
earlier. So I'm gonna rip.
She was
through
a
this
child.
thing. I think so. I don't know. I haven't got to the story yet. I don't
Okay.
know.
Like,
Probably
we're gonna learn together.
stimulated by voodoo tales told to them by Tituba. Paris's daughter Betty, age 9, his niece Abigail Williams, age 11, and their friend Ann Putnam Jr., about age 12, began indulging in fortune telling. So right off the bat, like just being kids at like 10 years old, be like, I'm gonna do this when I'm older.
Sit around the
Witch.
fire.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Witch.
Done.
Immediately. Shouldn't talk about that.
Yeah.
They're doing one of those things. The little four.
What are those called?
I don't know what they're called, but
The
you know
little
what I'm talking
paper.
about.
Yeah. For the people listening, you'd fold the paper up and then it'd almost look like a bird's beak. Maybe that's where the bird flu came from.
Yeah.
Maybe you're fucking around with those fake birds' beaks for too long.
It's like
What's
a
your favorite
pyramid
color?
thing. And you
Red.
could,
R-E.
Yeah.
Pick a number.
Oh, you're a witch.
7. Yep, hang them. In January of 1692, Betty's and Abigail's increasingly strange behavior, described by at least one historian as juvenile delinquency, came to include fits. They screamed, made odd sounds, threw things, contorted their bodies, and complained of biting and pinching sensations.
Did they think maybe, hey, they're maybe having their period?
Maybe not at I don't know what the period age is because I'm a dude, but I don't know what
34.
age 11 and age 12.
that could. I don't know. That's a little young, but
I think it was
I don't
maybe-
think it's too
I
young.
don't
though.
know.
I
when
think
girls
it's-
get their first period.
I'd say anywhere between 10 to 16, 10 being the extreme.
I think 10 would be.
I'd say maybe 12, 13, 14 is the range.
The early teens.
I know I haven't got mine yet, so I'm just
Just
Fingers
ballparking
crossed.
it.
anomaly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I must have gotten mine because I screamed and made odd sounds all the time when
Would
I
you
was a
throw
kid.
stuff?
Oh yeah,
That's a dead ringer.
yep, every time. I just don't worry about him. He's getting his period.
He's bleeding. Sir, that's a hemorrhoid.
I was wondering what that was. Looking back with the perspective provided by modern science, some scholars have speculated that the strange behavior may have resulted from some combination of asthma, encephalitis,
Syphilitis. Or is it
encephalitis,
I don't know what that is.
Ancef?
ENCE phalitis.
Syphilitis. Cabaragoya.
It's got iridocyclitis. It's got to be something with your breathing
They died doing anything. Like if you
All
like
the time.
moved your back wrong.
Mhm.
all the time.
Have you heard about the thing about chiropractors? It's all a scam.
Didn't I tell you that? Are you
I think
are you
so.
really just pulling this out of nowhere?
No, it's not a nowhere. I think you brought
I
it up.
thought
I
I
don't know
brought
if you
it up.
talked about it on the show or not.
I thought that was like an early form of witchcraft. I think.
Okay, yeah.
I think people were like, that was a joke, but people were like,
100% just fell for it.
I
I'm like,
did-
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. actually.
I don't think it was actually witchcraft, but I think people started like cracking each other's backs, and I think they like
Yeah.
unanimously were like, "Damn, that feels pretty good," and then they're like, "I can make some money off this."
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
Did you put a spell on me?
nah, dude, I just hit you with the, just walk on your back real quick. What do you mean? I need you to crack my back.
Yeah, that's crazy. If it can't be that big of a scam though, because when I go to the chiropractor, I do feel better.
Because you think you're supposed to.
You think it's a placebo, a
think
giant
it's a-
placebo.
I think it's a huge placebo, and that's what is driving all of the chiropractic places right now. People think they need to go after a certain amount of time.
But like I've been thinking about going because I keep waking up in the morning and my back. It almost feels like a really fat man sitting on my head and just like
Sitting on
crushing
your
me.
head?
Yeah, because it's just like squish me a bit. Like I feel like I wake up 5'10", and by the end of the day I'm 6'2".
Have you ever tried doing dead hangs?
No, I don't know if I have anything tall enough to hang from. Like I don't want to bend my knees. That's almost on the same level as Scotland, man.
I don't want to move my body.
Imagine you walk in
you
and
could
I'm
in
just
your
like,
garage. I'm sure you could in your garage if you had something.
yeah, I got some rafters in there.
There
Maybe
you
I could
go.
saw some hand holes.
Yeah. Do a quick like few minute dead hang at the start of the morning. Start your day right. I love it.
Yeah.
I
Do
don't
you-
do it.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you wake up and just
No.
lurch from things like a monkey or something?
I into the fucking kitchen area.
Just doing monkey bars.
Yeah, I just would prefer wake up not having to go hang from my rafters.
You're gonna keep spending money at the chiropractor then. So
Sorry.
encephalitis, Lyme disease, epilepsy, child abuse, delusional psychosis, or convulsive ergotism. The last, a disease caused by eating bread or cereal made of rye that has been infected with the fungus ergot, which can elicit vomit, choking, fits, hallucinations, and the sensing of something crawling on one's skin. The hallucinogen LSD is a derivative of ergot.
Would you guys? Yeah, LSD
They were
first of
just
all.
tripping.
So these kids are tripping balls,
Yeah.
which is probably Satan.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys were in the Salem Witch Trials, like you had to plug yourself in, what side would you be on? Would you be a finger pointer or would you try to be doing some wizard stuff?
I'd be pointing fingers.
Yeah.
There's no
I'd-
hope if you get the finger pointed at you.
You could run fast. What if you're a really fast runner? If I add that to your skills.
They had horses.
What if you owned 3?
It's true.
You own 3
What
horses.
are you gonna do with 3 of them?
Well, if they kill 2.
yeah. You just ride all
they
three.
kill almost all your horses.
Imagine you only had 2 horses though, and they killed them both. You'd be thinking, "Fuck! I wish I had.
shit.
I wish I had a 3rd horse."
Yeah, that's true.
So let's say you're a really good evader. Then what would I have to add to your skill set for you to be on the witch side?
Some actual witch powers.
Okay.
You'd
Like,
have to actually be doing it.
what would
Yeah.
you want to be able to do?
Teleport away.
Is that what witches do?
That sounds way easier than what I was gonna say. I was just gonna tell people that I could convince them of anything I said,
Oh,
which would
Well, that
which would
works.
also be easy.
you can stay at home then. You don't have to run like me, but I'll run. I'll teleport to. Oh, where's the best place to teleport in 1690? Not Las Vegas.
Nowhere. What? oh my gosh!
shit.
Get you some Viagra over there for that thing. Huh?
Yeah. Where's the best place to teleport? Probably.
I'm gonna
No,
go
I
ahead
don't
and
think
say not
anywhere was good.
Mongolia. Mongolia couldn't be any better than it is now.
No, horrible place, smelly place.
Paris maybe.
Paris was doing well. at
Rome
the
was
time.
probably doing all right.
Yeah. Did it fall yet?
Yeah. Maybe Egypt.
No.
It's warm.
Yeah. I just don't like that area.
What areas do you like? We're crossing so many off your
I
list.
just, yeah. Well, mainly I don't like it because I never knew it was in Africa.
Top 10 countries to live in 1692. I got to say France and England are probably number 1 and 2.
Scotland.
Yeah. Ireland.
Yeah.
I'd go to Ireland.
Yeah.
I bet that place would be nice.
Maybe Russia, like St. Petersburg. That was probably popping. Germany, get there before they went south.
Yeah, they did go. They had one little span there where they went crazy.
Yeah. Couple times.
Got shit done though.
They did know how to, yeah.
Tell you, they know how to get some shit done.
Yeah.
Pretty persuasive.
So yeah, I'd probably want to make potions.
When you were locked in, if you were going to be a witch, you think that'd be your way to go?
Yeah, because then you can make like potions of healing.
And you could, concoct some different.
And like, yeah, like.
You're thinking of like Minecraft potions.
But that's got to be semi close.
Yeah.
How far off could it be? I think the possibilities are endless.
Do you think you'd probably own emeralds?
Mm-hmm.
Trade it up for them?
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm just thinking, stereotypes of a wizard, what I would be back then. I would want to be, mainly because I like the elusiveness. I'd try to like evade people.
If I had wizard powers, absolutely.
Like undercover wizard almost.
I wouldn't be undercover whatsoever.
I'd wear the purple gown and everything.
Yeah, walk around with a staff.
Yeah.
I'd sit at home and ponder my orb all the time.
Albus Dumbledore type stuff.
Yeah.
I think you rub your chin a lot.
Rub it down my beard.
Yeah.
My 13-foot long beard for whatever reason. It just magically grows like that.
You're weird. Your beard is basically like your thing you
my
fly
life
on.
source. Oh, it could be too.
What did they fly on?
Witches? Broomsticks?
No. What are the people that flew on magic carpets?
Saudi Arabians? Yeah, they were.
I don't know if Saudi Arabians did.
Aladdin?
Yeah, I don't know.
Aladdin was Saudi Arabian?
Oh, he wasn't Chinese. Have you not seen the movie? He was all of, I don't know, Bangladesh maybe. I don't want to pigeonhole him.
He was, he's from Azerbaijan.
He was not of white skin.
No.
Is what we're getting at.
He
here.
was not from England.
Have your own little Prince Jasmine.
Me?
Yeah.
Jasmine sounds Bangladeshian, so.
Must be.
What are the people from Bangladesh called? Bangles?
It might be. I think it is. Bangladesh.
Really?
Yeah. I wouldn't call them Bangladeshians.
I wouldn't either.
I think Bengal sounds better because that's already a form of tiger.
Guys, we got a guest producer on the show. Nathan's gone.
So it does say that Aladdin was Chinese.
What?
Yeah, it says in the earliest version of the story, we have Aladdin is a poor youth living on the streets of China, and he's no foreigner abroad either. He's a native Chinese boy, not Arabian youth. Arabian youth who's ended up in China.
You're taking Nathan's position.
No way.
It's nice to have somebody that could read.
Yeah. Hey, next time you chime in,
Thanks, Tyler.
A little lower on the volume. It's a little echoey, but you didn't know. That's all right. But thank you. I didn't know he was Chinese, dude.
What a curveball.
Yeah. So he
didn't look Chinese.
He's not Bangladeshian.
Not
Have
even
you seen the
bit.
Chinese guys in South Park?
They look very Chinese.
Yeah, they look.
Those are the most Chinese people. Those look more Chinese than Chinese people.
Yeah.
God.
Would you ever want to go to China?
Absolutely. Japan, actually. Not China. I'd rather go to Japan. Japan seems like a much cooler place to be.
Like Shanghai.
Why not?
Beijing?
Why Japan over China?
Just seems
cleaner.
so packed.
Oh.
China
That's
does?
pretty much it. China, yeah.
Tokyo's way more
I don't have
popular.
I just wouldn't have to go to Tokyo then. I can go somewhere.
Where else are you going to go?
Hiroshima.
Are
I
they
bet it's
back
not
yet?
as packed.
Is it Hiroshima or Hiroshima?
Hiroshima, if you want to say it the Japanese way.
What do we say? Dirt.
Ash.
Target hit. Bullseye.
Oh, fuck, what a turn this episode took. Jesus.
So
These are
Salem.
historical events.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, we can't.
I was born on Pearl Harbor, so really I have a pass.
What?
His birthday is December 7th.
Oh,
Yeah.
So basically,
I'm not 80 years old.
that's right.
he's got the pass to make fun of.
Oh, not make fun of, just shed light on.
Talk about. We can talk about whatever we want,
Yep,
but we don't make fun of everyone.
that's right. I guess we're
Just the people that deserve it.
Yeah,
The Mongols.
fat people. If you're fat, do something with your life, dude. Look in the mirror. Unless you're happy being fat, be happy. That's fine. But you're gonna live a short life. So anyway, back in New Salem, these kids that were tripping shit. In February, unable to account for their behavior medically, the local doctor, William Griggs, put the blame on the supernatural. At the suggestion of a neighbor, a witch cake made with the urine of the victims was baked by Tituba to try to ferret out the supernatural perpetrator of the girl's illness. And I'll cover that in these next notes here with the witch cakes.
Created a piss cake?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how they tested. Although it provided no answers, its baking outraged Paris, who saw it as a blasphemous act.
I would too.
Yeah, they just made a cake of piss.
Yeah.
So how did they
Who's
test
pissed,
for witchcraft? I'll just jump right to number 4 to answer your question. How did they test for witchcraft? Number 4, witch cakes. A bizarre form of counter magic. The witch cake was a supernatural dessert used to identify...
A supernatural dessert.
Yeah, it was that good.
It's out of this world.
Supernatural dessert used to identify suspected evildoers. In cases of mysterious illness or possession, witch hunters would take a sample of the victim's urine, mix it with rye meal and ashes, and bake it into a cake. This stomach-turning concoction was then fed to a dog, the familiars, or animal helpers of witches, in the hope that the beast would fall under its spell and reveal the name of the guilty sorcerer. They were just fucking throwing mud at the wall.
I think everyone was on LSD.
That is ridiculous. We're going to make this cake of piss and feed it to a dog, and then we're going to see if it talks and tells us who the fucking witch is. That is insane.
I thought you were gonna go the route that's, hey, we're gonna make this piss cake. Throw some ashes in there if you got some left over.
Yeah.
And if it tastes bad, they're a witch.
Okay. So during the hysteria that proceeded from the Salem Witch Trials, the slave Tituba famously helped prepare a witch cake to identify the person responsible for bewitching young Betty Paris and others. The brew failed to work, and Tituba's supposed knowledge of spells and folk remedies was later used as evidence against her when she was accused as being a witch. So she got on the stand, and they're like, wait a minute.
You're a fucking
Didn't
witch.
you make a piss cake? She goes, yeah. And I, witch.
Really?
Nobody
Witch.
in their right mind would make piss cake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that was
Yeah,
it.
I think I'd like to try it.
First of all, you'd like to try making it or tasting it?
Both.
Who's
Oh.
piss?
That's what I'm saying. Did the person that's peeing have a lot of asparagus?
A medium amount.
I'm probably going, no, I think they have to be at a net zero amount of piss. A net zero amount of asparagus for me.
That's respectable.
They say it's sterile.
Yeah.
Just
What
as
is that?
patches.
Barbershop. We've been talking about a lot. I've been getting my hair cut a lot lately.
I go in there every day. So I'm like, hey, we need some new stuff for the podcast. And they're like, did you hear about Tituba? I said,
the fuck is that?
enlighten me.
So there's the swimming test. As part of the infamous swimming test, accused witches were dragged to the nearest body of water, stripped to their undergarments, bound, and then tossed in to see if they would sink or float. Since witches were believed to have spurned from the sacrament of baptism, it was thought that the water would reject their body and prevent them from submerging. According to this logic, an innocent person would sink like a stone, but a witch would simply bob on the surface. The victim typically had a rope tied around their waist so they could be pulled from the water if they sank, but it wasn't unusual or accidental drowning deaths to occur.
Imagine you actually saw one floating. What do you do after that? Do they
Human
have-
bodies float.
Yeah, I get that, but not if you have shit tied to your waist.
They had a rope tied from their waist
Yeah.
to the shore, not like something holding them down.
So if I'm out there treading water,
But you couldn't be treading water because they were bound.
Right. They tied your hands and feet.
yeah. So that's why I'm saying, imagine your hands and feet are tied and that person's floating.
You will float.
I don't think you'll float.
The
How?
human body
Because
floats.
If you
once
try
your
to-
lungs, once you drown and your lungs,
If you
fill with
try to
water,
make it
then
float-
you're not buoyant anymore.
If I tried to make myself float, yeah.
You'd have to try,
But like,
because you fill your lungs with air. That makes you buoyant.
Right. So as long as you're breathing and alive, you're going to float.
not if you don't know how.
How to float?
Yeah. Trust me, if I jump in a pool right now, I'm sinking.
You'd float.
You don't know how to float?
I do, but what if you didn't know how? What if I didn't know how?
You just said you didn't know how.
To float? I know how to float.
Dude,
Oh.
you don't even have to know how.
Are you a witch?
It's not true at all. Why do you think people drown? People that don't know how to swim. They don't just fucking float, Broden.
Dude,
They go to the bottom of the pool or lake.
after a while of floating.
No.
Yes. It's just that they go under and then they come back up. And then when they go under, they swallow water.
If I go and take a baby and throw it in a pool, is it floating? Or is that baby going to drown, Broden?
What race is it? Is it Mongolian?
It can be.
Yeah, then it's floating.
Why?
No, it's
That
not.
baby has air in its lungs. And air floats.
I don't think. How much air do you think it's like a hot air balloon baby?
Well, just think, there's this much air in me right now.
I get that, but I'm saying, I almost can't even believe you're saying this right now, bro. Or maybe I'm that crazy.
I don't know. I think
Liam, pick a side, Liam?
I don't.
If
I
we
think
could-
How come in every movie we see when the dead body is floating down the river? How about that?
Fuck.
But is that
you
just,
brought
but is that
up.
just a movie ploy so they're able
Yeah.
to see and expose the body?
probably.
Well, yeah. If I kill somebody and throw the body in the river, the Mouse River, it's not floating down the Mouse River. That's why they find bodies washed up on shore. Ah, fuck. That's kind of contradictory.
Yeah, it's just gonna climb
God
its way
damn.
up the sand hill.
This could be the age-old question.
This is almost like a silverback gorilla versus a bear. We just replaced.
Age-old.
I'm just saying, like, let's go back
I
to
don't
the question.
think you know exactly how drowning maybe works. I'm not sure exactly how it works.
But I'm
either,
just saying, if I pick up a toddler that has not learned how to swim, nothing, never been to swimming lessons,
It's going to sink.
babies
you
naturally.
would think.
Yeah.
Babies don't naturally just fucking.
There's nothing.
There's a lot of-
There is no body composition that allows you to float except for your lungs.
Yeah.
That's it. So once your lungs fill up with water, you sink.
So that would mean you'd have to be underwater long enough for you to not be able to hold your breath anymore, and then go under there and
So-
your lungs fill up.
Let's picture it's a baby that
Why does it have to be a baby? What-
because
how did we get
everyone
after,
else
how did we get
everyone
after this at this
because
point?
everyone else can swim. An 8-year-old is gonna actively try to float. If I
Okay.
throw a 2-year-old into the water, they're not gonna be like, "Oh, I'm going into my floating position." No, they don't know how.
Okay.
But if let's say I throw a 1-year-old in, and let's say this baby somehow, which it wouldn't, knows to hold its breath, like it's doing the cheek thing.
Mhm.
The chipmunk,
What happens to it?
after a while, it's going to sink.
First thing that happens, starts to look like a raisin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Second thing that happens,
Sinks.
yeah, I would think so.
Tyler,
Tyler's on it.
what do you got for us?
Is it good? The volume?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. So dead bodies in water usually tend to sink at first, but later they tend to float as post-mortem changes brought on by putrefaction produce enough gases to make them buoyant. But then it also says something about, but cold water slows decay, and people who drown in deep lakes 30 meters or below may never surface.
What about alive bodies? I assume they sink.
What?
An alive body. Like I'm alive for a little bit. I don't hit the water and die.
Yeah, then you'd be on the surface.
People
You'd be
drown because they're
alive.
bobbing up and down. It's not like
But I'm saying a baby. Go back to the baby. We're really putting this baby through something here. I throw this baby off
Okay.
a pontoon.
All right. Just pissing you off?
Where's it at until it dies?
in the water.
How deep? Like, are we giving them a 10-foot like surface to 10 feet below, and they're just kind of like bobbing, or are they going blue, and it's
I
slow?
think
It's
yeah,
gonna
it's
fall
immediate.
right away.
Yeah, I think it's pretty immediate.
You're not gonna sink right away. You're just not gonna sink right away, no matter what.
We got to get our hands on one.
A baby.
Like, yeah, not like in a fake world. Like if there was a program we could run.
There's got to be something.
I'm really curious about this now. Is there any baby drowning experts?
I mean, you're right. I would say, but it takes a little bit for you to actually sink.
Well, yeah, it's not like the Titanic.
You're not going to
Even
get
the Titanic
thrown
took
into
a while to
water.
sink.
Yeah. You're not going to get thrown into water and then immediately just go straight to the bottom.
No, but I think it's a slow sinkage.
Yeah, very slow.
Like if you were to stick something that had a big surface area in the water, and then it was just like,
Yeah, probably. But
I'd think a quarter sinks.
you were
fast.
making it sound like you'd get thrown in, and just because your hands and feet are tied, you're going to hit the water and you might as well be a cinder block. That's what you were making it sound like.
No, I'm not trying to say that, but I also don't think you just float on the surface and you can just reach for air and then, I'm back under. I think you
probably
hit the
could.
water.
Next
I think
time
you
you
go
go into a lake or pool, keep your hands and feet together and like this, coffin.
Yeah.
And just see.
Just coffin dive
what
into the
happens.
water.
What happens to your body?
Yeah, and I think I 100% know that I'm just going to slowly sink to the bottom.
No, you're dumb.
We got to get a pool
Yeah.
or something. I might go somewhere tomorrow.
Local YMCA and
Yeah.
test your buoyancy.
Wow, that sounded like a fart.
He's ripped, pal.
It could have been.
All right, Liam, let's get back into the non-drowning babies section of the podcast.
So up next for testing for witchcraft, we have the prayer test. Medieval wisdom held that
My personal favorite.
yeah, good night of prayer. Held that witches were incapable of speaking scripture aloud, so accused sorcerers were made to recite selections from the Bible, usually the Lord's Prayer, without making mistakes or omissions. The ending of this is so fucking funny. While it may have simply been a sign that the suspected witch was illiterate or nervous, any errors were viewed as proof that the speaker was in league with the devil. This twisted test of public speaking ability was commonly used as hard evidence in witch trials. In 1712, it was applied to the case Jane Wyndham, an accused witch who supposedly
Jane.
struggled to speak the words, "Forgive us our trespasses," and "Lead us not into temptation," during her interrogation. Still, even a successful prayer test didn't guarantee an acquittal. Right here.
Like, that's not good enough.
Right here.
Put her in the swim test.
During the Salem Witch Trials, the accused sorcerer George Burroughs flawlessly recited the prayer from the gallows just before his execution. The performance was dismissed as a devil's trick, and the hanging proceeded as planned. They just said, "Nah,
They're
just
like-
hang him. We already got him up there. We're all here. We're all in town square.
He's gonna sue if we don't put him
He's
through.
gonna be pissed." Yeah,
The devil learned it to trick us. That's what they thought, huh?
exactly. The devil was speaking it for him.
Man, imagine having Tourette's or something during this time.
You would have been dead long ago if you came out with Tourette's. Yeah, you would have been fucking long gone. They would have threw you in the water and found out if you were a buoyant baby.
Imagine having a lisp.
Dead.
Yeah.
Dude, anything. Dead.
Yeah.
It was remarkable.
That's where
test.
it'd be really nice if you had a neck that was the same width as your head.
So you could just fall out of the noose. Nothing to it.
They're like, we can't get this on his chin. It's like,
No chin left.
where's neck's at?
Neck's huge.
That's why I've been doing more neck workouts in case I go to the gallows one day.
Beefing them up.
Yeah.
Try and
for
hang
you.
me.
In the gallows.
It's paying off. I can see it.
gallows.
Look at Beefy.
Imagine Lady Gaga had a rendition of that, In the Shallows to In the Gallows.
It's not a bad idea.
Lady Gaga would probably get hanged for being a witch, I bet.
Guaranteed. She
Yeah.
almost kind of looks like one.
Yeah, she's like
I
5'2".
Yeah, I think they tried when she wore that meat dress.
Exactly. She wears
Forgot about that.
one dress of dinner. Done.
That's it. Well, that was enough to feed all of that town.
Yeah.
Old Salem.
The-
New Salem.
Yeah, who knows anymore? Old Salem? The touch test? The touch test worked on the idea that victims of sorcery would have a special reaction to physical contact with their evil doer. In cases where a possessed person fell into spells or fits, the suspected witch would be brought into the room and asked to lay a hand on them. A non-reaction signaled innocence, but if the victim came out of their fit, it was seen as proof that the suspect had placed them under a spell.
Wow.
So these people were tripping on LSD, and then they'd just go touch them, and they'd still just be bugging, and they're like, don't know what to tell you now.
Yeah, they got to be doing something weird. LSD, man. This is our anti-LSD episode.
Yeah, you're going to go to the gallows if you're on that LSD stuff. Witches' marks. So this is where all the bunions and warts.
Bunions.
I couldn't fucking remember what they were called.
Yeah.
Boils. That's the word I was looking
Ugh.
for. Boils. Witch hunters often had their suspects stripped and publicly examined for signs of an unsightly blemish that witches were said to receive upon making their pact with Satan. The devil's mark could supposedly change shape and color and was believed to be numb and insensitive to pain. Prosecutors might also search for the witch's teat, an extra nipple allegedly used to suckle the witch's helper animals. In both cases, it was easy for even most minor physical imperfections to be labeled as the work of the devil himself. Moles, scars, birthmarks, sores, supernumerary nipples, and tattoos could all qualify.
Super
So-
what?
Supernumerary. supernumerary nipple.
But don't you think did they even have like soap and stuff back then, like to even get rid? Like they couldn't have been clean people.
Imagine
it
just
could have been anything.
playing with your friends, and then you trip and fall, and you got a scar on your knee or something.
Dead.
Witches can't be clean people.
They probably don't have a need
I don't think
for
any of them were
showers.
clean. They're all Mongols. Can you
Yeah.
imagine wiping out all of Mongolia
I think
over
they're-
some witch shit?
Yeah, I think they used to be the Mongols of Massachusetts. Was there also the name?
Yeah.
The Mongols of Massachusetts.
The Massachusetts
That sounds like
Mongols.
a biker club.
The Mass Mongols. Yeah.
The soccer
I
team.
think so. I think I saw a Facebook page of that one time.
Yeah. Like our page.
It was a soccer team. I think they're in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Good for them.
The link is in the bio.
For anyone wanting the bio link, merch.
That's where the merch is at.
Could all qualify, so examiners rarely came up empty-handed. In the midst of witch hunts, desperate villagers would sometimes even burn or cut off any offending marks of their bodies, only to have their wounds labeled as proof of a covenant with the devil. So, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Pricking and scratching tests. These one sounds really weird. If witch hunters struggle to find obvious evidence of witches' marks on the suspect's body, they might resort to the ghastly practice of pricking as a means of sussing it out. Witch hunting books and instructional pamphlets noted that the marks were insensitive to pain and couldn't bleed. So examiners used specially designed needles to repeatedly stab and prick at the accused person's flesh until they discovered a spot that produced the desired results. In England and Scotland, the torture was eventually performed by well-paid professional prickers, many of whom were actually con men who used dull needle points to identify fake witches' marks.
The first of adult film stars. Professional prickers. No? All right.
Professional what?
Prickers? You stick your prick in that hole.
Did they do that in Scotland?
Have sex? I don't think so. Have you seen
hope
them?
not.
You gotta,
Nobody would have sex with that.
How else do you make more Scottish people?
Fucking fat. I think they might just clone them.
Interbreeding.
I think all of Scotland is a clone of like the same 5 people.
That
I
makes
wouldn't
a
be.
lot of sense.
I wouldn't be
now.
surprised at all.
If the news came out tomorrow and said,
Turns out,
breaking new evidence that Scotland is full of clones.
I'd say I knew it all along.
Yeah.
Good grief. Incantations, also known as charging. This test involved. So this is number 7, the last of the tests to see if you're a witch.
Okay.
Incantations, also known as charging. This test involved forcing the accused witch to verbally order the devil to let the possessed victim come out of their fit or trance. Other people would also utter the words to act as a control. The judges would then gauge whether the statements had any effect on the victim's condition. Charges were famously used in the 16th century witch trial of Elise Samuel and her husband and daughter, who were accused of bewitching 5 girls from the wealthy Throckmorton family.
Throckmortons. That looks like a family that's full of witches.
The Throckmortons.
You know the Throckmortons?
Well, because they were rich. And that's how everything. So this was all like the whole pointing finger thing. If you had, I think I cover it. I think that's in like the next little story I have here. Like if you had too much land, too much money, people would just conglomerate and be like, "Oh, this guy's a witch. Let's get him out of here."
Yeah. Throckmortons. That's a dead giveaway.
Yeah. They sound like they
Dead
got money.
giveaway.
During the proceedings, judges forced the Samuels to demand that the devil release the girls from their spell by stating, "As I am a witch, so I charge the devil to let Mistress Throckmorton come out of her fit at this present." When the possessed girls immediately recovered, the Samuels were found guilty and hanged as witches.
It's just whoever's wrong, you're getting hanged.
Yeah.
You want to accuse someone? Okay. You're getting hanged. The Throckmortons.
The Throckmortons.
Oh, you don't want to hang out with the Throckmortons over there at the fire. Look at them.
They're witches. Yeah. They're too rich.
Stirring potions.
I got the story of Giles Corey last year.
What a name.
Giles Corey. Maybe it's Gillies. I have no
Giles.
idea. Giles. It's got to be Giles.
I like Giles better.
Giles attended some of the first trials that took place in a tavern, and Martha was quickly accused of witchcraft. At first, he testified against his wife, believing the accusations, but then changed his mind and tried to recant his words. Abigail Hobbs, another accused of witchcraft, named Giles Corey as a wizard, close in time to when he testified against his wife. Martha denied the accusations, but Giles would not plead guilty or not guilty. Giles Corey may not have been a good person, but he was smart. He knew that if he pled and let the trial happen, his estate would be taken away from his family after his execution. To save his children's inheritance, he would not plead. According to the law at the time, those who did not plead could not be tried. To try to get the accused to plead, the legal remedy was pene forte et dure, translating to strong and hard pain. It became the name for the torture of pressing. After he would not plead, Giles was asked to strip naked and lay down face up on the ground.
At a hoo hut.
And a bunch of Mongolians.
Yeah.
It had
Spat on him.
And then
Repeated tea bags from a group of Mongolians.
every
That
time,
would be strong and hard torture right
every
there.
time the nutsack in his face. Who what? Who what? I guess we go on every
Just
time.
bouncing it off their forehead. Yeah.
How many Mongols do you think there
How about
were,
this,
too?
Giles?
You like that?
They're like them apples.
You like that teabag?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Strong and hard pain of getting teabagged in the face. A wooden board was then placed on top of him, and on top of the board, one by one, Sheriff George Corwin placed large rocks. After 2 days of this torture, through which Giles had remained silent, never crying out, he was asked to plead. Giles did not want his property to be taken, so he never pled either way. On the third day, 19th of September, 1692, he died from being pressed to death. His last words were more weight.
That's got to be the
What a dog.
unemployed people making up these torture methods. Let's stick that board
That
on
was their
them.
job.
It's like, let's stick that board
I
on
think
them.
they're just bored. Yeah.
They
What do you want to do with the board? Do you have anything heavy we could put on
Put
it?
some rocks on it.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Bertha on him.
Back then, they were just like, that's when they were learning to be people. And they were running out of just ways to mutilate each other. Let's crush them. I don't know. Let's just go find every big rock we can and set it on top of this
It's
board.
like, yeah, just two people hanging out, and they're like, I'm getting sick of hanging people.
Let's do something else. Saw them in half.
I got that board and that pile of rocks over there. Got a group of Mongolians. He's like, we're not going to do that yet.
We could run the Mongol train on them.
Yeah. We could get the Massachusetts Mongols on them.
Yeah. It
Next
probably
thing
could
you
be
know.
Scottish people. I mean,
Yeah.
they're
We
already
could have them listen to the bagpipes for a couple hours.
they're in
Yeah.
their kilts. You know how easy a nutsack is to fall out of the bottom of a kilt?
Easier than most.
Yeah.
Far easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a rough visual.
They didn't have much undergarments back then, so
Uh,
nut sacks were just everywhere.
covered in loincloths.
I do like loin cloths. Loin cloths. Do I have any? No.
Yeah.
Should we bring them back?
I can make one pretty quickly, I'd think.
Can't be hard. Piece
Neighbor's
of string.
cat.
Jesus.
What did you say?
That's the neighbor's cat.
Oh,
Get some nice leather.
cats are not leather.
There's cat leather.
Yeah.
Is
All right.
It don't matter. You know what does matter? Merch is in the bio.
Yep.
Merch link is in the bio.
Merch link is in the bio. Everybody, that was episode 39.
Guys, we got to do merch that like relates to every episode. We'll have a merch piece. So like we could have one merch piece this episode that's just like the Throckmortons.
Said
and then
fuck
let's-
the Throckmortons.
Yeah, it's like something with the Throckmortons or the Mongolian. We could do like a sports logo, the Massachusetts Mongols.
That'd actually be sick.
Yeah. And then people will never know until we say, go listen to the show. Smorgasbord. We do that. That's a running joke with the show.
I'd like that one.
That will stick
What
around
else
for a
is
while.
what else is some stuff we could really throw on there?
Pipe assassin.
The pipe assassin. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I can't even remember.
The
how we
Canada
came up with
Goose.
That one.
I don't remember that one.
Nathan laughing.
Nathan.
Oh yeah.
Scooting furniture.
Yeah. Goose's Furniture Co.
Yeah.
I thought we had another one lined up. We had put some ideas in the group chat a while ago.
The pipe assassin was good.
Yeah.
Nathan trying to spell assassin. ASASIN. Assassin.
I wonder.
Maybe you guys can send in, if you've made it this far, that means you're a true listener.
Yeah.
You can send in some merch ideas now that the merch link is in the bio.
We could pick a winner.
Yeah. We could do that.
We
If
could
you-
pick a
hey,
winner.
here's
Are we
an
a
idea.
month away now from the last winner? Are we going to pick another winner?
Yeah. We need to look at
Should we launch?
reviews.
Hey, launch is out right now. If you guys leave a comment on this show, I'm going to put this at the top of the episode. Before we get into this week's topic, if you leave a comment on this episode, we are going to put you in the drawing for a piece of merch, a free piece of merch. This is also going to be at the end of the show, but we're going to throw it in the beginning of the show. All right, enjoy the rest of the show. Okay, now we're back at the end of the show. If you leave a comment on this episode, we'll put you in the drawing. What should we run for? 2 weeks? A month?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Let's not give them too much time.
Or do we give it a week?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. By April, let's get out a calendar here.
It's the 5th right now, 14 days.
It's the 5th, but they'll be watching this on the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th.
So they'll have till the
14 days.
25th.
Sunday.
Till the 25th. You have till the 25th to comment on this episode to be entered in for a free piece of merch, and maybe tell us your favorite part of the episode, your favorite part of it, the favorite part of it. The
Favorite
that
part
was
of
your
this
favorite.
episode.
If you liked anything,
If there
tell
was
us.
a part of this episode that was your favorite, tell us.
Cool. We'll get you a piece of merch that says the Throckmortons.
Everybody, thanks for listening. We're going to do it again the week after this one. So we'll see you here.
Peace out.